Previously on Men in Trees.
So we've got 3 mames, 3 different species, and 3 different techniques: Urbandori, Yamadori, and grown from seed. So there you go, Ian.
Welcome back to part 2 of the 2020 Mame Challenge, set by Jered over at Jarhead Bonsai. So we'll be doing seeds today. I went outside in January and looked around the garden, and I found some hawthorn seeds. I brought them in and took all the berry stuff off, so I was just left with the seeds. You don't want any berry, or I guess it's called fruit, left on the seeds, or it'll just rot and go mouldy and then the seeds won't grow. You'll also need a few seeds. You can't do just one. Well, you can, but there's a chance they won't all germinate. So it's better to do a couple, just to increase your chances of success. So after the berry has been removed, just wash and clean the seeds, and then we're going to soak them for 48 hours in water. You can see we floaters and the water changes colour. That's just the last of the berry coming off, so that's all fine. So after 48 hours, they need to be put on a lightly dampened kitchen paper towel, and then they'll go in the fridge. Seeds like this need a period of cold to germinate. It's January, so these have been out all winter, but it's still best to do this. Then you know for certain they have chilled long enough. It's also really important that you line them up correctly or they just won't grow. I think it was the day after this, I went on a walk and just ended up picking various berries off bushes when I was walking past people's houses. I think they were mainly cotoneasters. I also found a random apple seed in the kitchen sink, so you might see some random extra seeds appear in a minute. So once they're all lined up correctly, they are then put in a plastic bag and then put in the fridge. Hawthorn seeds need a long chill, so they will be in there for a good 12 weeks. You should check them every few weeks just to make sure they are still slightly damp and not going mouldy. But basically, not much is going to happen over the next 12 weeks. That is, unless you're an apple seed. They only need 4, maybe 5 weeks in the fridge, so you might find they start germinating while in there. After 10 weeks, I'm really pushing it here. That apple really needs to be taken out and planted. So obviously, I waited another week. Also, that one there covered in mould, it either needs wiped clean or taken out. Right now its chances of growing are low, and I could potentially infect the rest of the seeds. But the apple had to come out. I couldn't wait another week, it was getting too silly. While these are chilling, I prepared my seed bed, which of course is a plastic old cake box. So just cut some holes in the bottom and then add some mesh. These are great as the lids pretty much make a little greenhouse. As you can see, the apple is already in there and it has green leaves already. If you live someone who freaks out about having random bags of seeds in the fridge, bags that are totally sealed I might add, just hide them inside old like Philadelphia tubs. I actually bought some Trident maple seeds for this and they were in their fridge for maybe 24 hours before they went missing. I went through the bin at like 2 AM and I got full forensic recovery, but I couldn't really find the bag in the kitchen roll, so some idiot must have thrown them outside or something. I was so annoyed, but the Philly trick seems to bypass any idiots. I've got 2 bags in here as I'm running 2 different seed projects. The other lot will be in a different video in the new year. So just plant the seeds up. I just put them on the surface, press them down slightly, and then I cover them with a light dusting of soil at the end. I just use my normal soil mix here, perlite, motor clay and compost. You can see them all lined up and nicely spaced out here, ready for the top layer to be added. I've divided the box out like this so I can keep track of my different seeds, so just ignore the right hand side of the box for now. A light sprinkle and it's all done. All very simple. We then just have to give them a sprinkle of water and wait for them to start popping out. It's April now and I just check on these every time I water to make sure it's still damp in here. And after a while, one has popped up at the back there. And I think one has popped up the front. I'm definitely trying to point at something, but I can't really see what it is now. Never mind, we'll just believe there's one there. A while later and you can see a few more start to show themselves. It's only been a few weeks. It can take 4 to 8 weeks really to see anything happen. Growing from seeds is a slow process. But it's like Christmas Day every time you check the box and see what's happening. By May there is a few that have popped, but it's mainly just the apple that's doing the best. But it's still early days, but no signs of the hawthorns yet. In June we've got some good growth from the ones that have popped, but still no hawthorns. In July they're doing well, but it looks like we only got these 4 to germinate. No hawthorns, so it's a good thing I picked those other seeds or this would be a pretty disappointing video. Although I'm sure I can sort that out. This is meant to be a Mame challenge and I've only got 12 months. So let's stop messing about and let's get one of these potted up. All these trees are also getting a bit too crowded in this little pot. So I want to pot them up so they have a bit more space. So I need to pick one of these for the challenge. The rest we'll just have to save for another time. And I think I'm going to go for the apple. At every stage so far it's outshone the rest, so let's give it the glory. So here's my little pot, just a classic tiny blue round pot. I added a screen and some drainage stones, then just a little bit of soil. So here's the tree. It's got a decent amount of roots, but the base is kind of like a claw. So I have an idea. Maybe I can add a stone and let the claw roots drape over it. So like a tiny root over rock. That way I don't have to cut any roots off and I can make use of what I've got. So those top roots can be exposed and the rest can be safely in the pot. And here's what we got. The roots and stone ended up looking best at this angle. The roots are not too exposed, but that is not a worry for now. I then just took nearly all the leaves off just to encourage it to shoot out some new smaller leaves. A little tiny pot like this needs watered every day, like every 24 hours without fail. If not more often, especially in the heat of the summer. I had it on a little tray to keep the water a bit longer, but you know, August wasn't exactly a good month for me, and well, somewhere in the carnage I missed a day. And basically it completely dried out. Even with the smaller foliage mass and the drip tray, it's still got too dry. And unfortunately the damage was done, I couldn't save it. But considering this was the only tree I lost this year, I think I've done well. If I hadn't had such a horrendous real life situation, this probably would have made it, but I'm sure at some point I would have forgotten about it for 24 hours and this would have happened anyway. so the sea challenge has failed. But there is still part 3 left, maybe it will be more of a success, so join me on Sunday and we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching, see you next time.